Hey girl, hey, welcome back to Girls Gone Digital. Welcome back to all my digital girls. Let's get into it today because I got something really important that I want to discuss with all of my girls who are getting into the digital products industry, thinking about getting into digital products. And to be honest, even if you are in some type of marketing or selling position, okay? I want to give you some tips today, some marketing tips today that is going to really help you learn how to make more money, how to make more money in sales from a marketing perspective. Okay. Because a lot of people, a lot of my girls out here doing all of the things, they are doing all of the things, but they still not getting the clients. They're still not making the money. They're still not seeing the sales. They're still not seeing their email light up with sales and leads and their PayPal and their Stripe accounts, right? It's crickets. It's dead as a doorknob. Okay. You're posting, you're showing up, you're doing the aesthetics, but nothing's landing. And I'm going to tell you why. There are different types of marketing. Some is going to get you likes. Some's going to get you an applause, a hand clap. Some going to get you hype, okay, and agreed with. But the kind I teach, the specific type of marketing that I teach is going to get you clients. It's going to make you money. It's going to get you conversions, okay? It's going to get you leads. And it's going to get you paid without selling your soul. Because in my world, in the DigiGirl world, okay? In my community and what I teach, we do not market through pressure. We do not manipulate people into buying. We don't have to. We don't have to do that. It's all about alignment. We don't pretend to be somebody we're not so people would think we're more successful. That is old energy. And I promise you, people can feel it, and you, most importantly, can feel it. What I teach is soul led. What I teach is based on truth. It is based on embodiment. It is based on transformation because people don't want to buy from you just because you sound smart. They really, really don't. Or because of your tips or because of your tricks. Okay. And sometimes not even because of your value. Truth be told, yeah, I said it, not even because of your value. They buy because they feel safe, because of your conviction. They buy because you are showing them, they're buying their version of you that you're becoming, that you already became. That's through alignment, okay? When they feel seen, when they feel the shift, and they can trust that you can lead them to where they want to go and to where they want to be. So I'm going to break down the three types of marketing that I've seen in this space. And you know what? I'm not even going to lie. I've also lived myself. All of this is through past and a journey that I once have been on as well. I have lived through these types myself. And I'm going to tell you the one that actually works. First one is performative marketing. Performative. Now listen, I'm not judging you, sis, if you've done this, because I'm not going to hold you. I did too. I did. Performative marketing is when you are showing up trying to look like you got it all together instead of actually connecting to the people that you are called to help. You're posting to impress and not to impact. Okay. You're copying trends, right? You're saying what you think that you're supposed to say. You're not being a thought leader, okay? You're using all the pretty branding, all of the aesthetics, but deep down in your soul, you know that this ain't me. It's not you. You can feel that disconnect. And I'm trying to tell you, it leads to burnout and exhaustion, and a lot of people quit and they give up, especially when it comes to these digital products because it's too performative, right? And they feel disconnected from their authentic self, from the core of who they really are, and they just give up. Okay, but you don't have to do that. Performative marketing, it gets you the visibility but not viability. It might get you comments like yes, 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 amen, I see you, so true, but at the end of the day, nobody's clicking your link. At the end of the day, that digital product is just sitting as a link in your bio and it's collecting dust, and your brilliance deserves to make you money. No one's asking, how can I work with you? You know why? Because people can feel when you're trying to perform instead of trying to serve. And listen, I remember this so clearly. I am telling you from experience, through lived experience. I remember this so clearly. I was posting 3 times a day on Instagram, trying to keep up, trying to be seen, following every expert's strategy, following what he said, she said, do this, don't do that. The trending audios, the cute branding, trying to show up like that girl. And it still wasn't converting. And, I remember my husband told me one time, he was like, y'all say, or you say, you are trying to train the algorithm, but the algorithm is training you because the algorithm has you in a chokehold. You all this posting, trying to train the algorithm. He said, no, you are the one that's being trained. And that hit me like a ton of bricks because I was doing all that and it's not converting. I wasn't being me. I was performing. I was inner energy of pretending. I was trying to prove myself instead of standing in what God gave me, right? And once I stopped performing and started telling the truth, I promise you the game changed. I promise you everything shifted. You know why? Because number one, everything is energy. Everything is energy. And that's when the sales start doubling and tripling and multiplying. That's when that alignment, I started to feel that alignment. That's when I finally felt at peace about my brand again. So performative marketing says, you know what? Let me look successful. Let me look the part so that people can buy from me. But real buyers, they are not moved about how good your graphics are and all of those trendy things that you're doing. They are moved about how aligned your message is. And everything starts with you. If you're feeling disconnected, if you're feeling not in alignment and unaligned, it's no way in the world you can expect somebody to buy anything from you because that energy is transferable. It transfers. It all starts with you and what you're feeling internally. Okay? And then you try to show up and do all these things and post in your performative marketing strategies all day, and you're transferring that energy over into your audience, and now they're disconnected from your message. You know why? Because it started from you, because you started performing, and now you are disconnected from your message. Okay? Type 2. The second type of marketing is pressure-based marketing. And let's say this one right here. I mean, I used to hate this, okay? And it's the reason a lot of people, again, are getting burnt out trying to market and trying to sell. Because pressure-based marketing is it's that loud, manipulative, fake scarcity, fear-driven stuff. It's that the cart closes at 4 hours and you'll never get this chance again type of energy, right? And you don't have to do all of that. It's the buy now or you're going to fail at life energy. Manipulation, fear-based. That's not the energy that you need to be in. You need to be in an energy of where you're activating and inviting your audience in without pressure, right? It creates that false sense of urgency that honestly, it don't even sit right in your spirit because you don't want nobody doing that to you either. But you're doing it because you're such in scarcity. You feel like if I can just pressure somebody into this, they're going to go to the link in my bio and they're going to buy. And listen, you may make a few quick sales. Let's say you do. Because out there, the marketing of the world will tell you to use FOMO, use scarcity, use pressure. It will tell you that, right? And you may make a few quick sales off of that, but you're going to lose trust. You're going to lose your peace. You're going to start resenting your business. What does that scripture say in the Bible? What does it cost a man the world when you lose your own soul? That's what that's doing. Pressure-based marketing, it works short term, but it's going to cost you your long-term vision, your long-term impact, your long-term alignment. And for me, peace is profit. Period. Okay. And if it don't feel good to sell, then I'm just not selling it. Okay. And let's talk about the third type of marketing, purpose-led marketing, soul-led marketing. It is what I teach. It is what I live by. It is what I teach my clients. And this is why my clients are getting so many results and they are just doing their thing. Okay? That is what actually works. This is what I teach in my programs. And it's how I started to build my business when I got out of that hustle mode, when I got out of that scarcity mode. I call it purpose-led marketing. This is when your message is rooted in truth and not tactics. You're not trying to handle objections. You are shifting beliefs. You're not just selling a product. You're guiding someone into a transformation. That's the energy. Purpose-led marketing, soul-led marketing is based on storytelling, is based on belief shifting, is based on showing the real transformation and painting the possibility, is based on making aligned invitations and activating and living what you preach. Embodiment all the way. This is how I started selling products on autopilot. Not even because I had all of the fanciest funnels. It's not. I was still figuring it out. And it's not even because I was posting 24/7. I stopped all of that because I felt the disconnect. It was because I was sold on myself and what I was offering. And you feel it I felt that and it transferred into my audience. And that's the part people don't talk about. If you are not sold on you, your audience won't be either. If you're still questioning your worth, your value, if you're enough, your audience is going to question it too. And I'm going to say this, and it may ruffle a few feathers, but I say it in love. I love my Digi girls, okay? A lot of people say, I'm going to hold your hand when I say this. I'm not going to hold your hand when I say this. You know why? Because I'm saying it in love, and I'm saying it because I believe in you. All right? And I know that these are some of the shifts that a lot of my Digi girls out there need to make in order to see success, right? But selling is not just strategy. It is a spiritual skill. And when you learn how to sell the right way and not manipulate, but you sell with conviction, I promise you, you will never be broke a day again in your life. You will never live paycheck to paycheck a day in your life again. Selling is a skill that when you learn how to do it properly and you can sell anything, you will never be in lack when you learn how to do it properly. Because you have learned how to transfer that belief. You've learned how to speak with certainty and conviction. You learn how to anchor your message in the truth. A lot of people, they're not even struggling with marketing, honestly, to be honest. They're struggling, with embodiment in their marketing. They're struggling to believe that they're worthy of the transformation that they even are trying to sell. It's a disconnect, okay? And that's why the content isn't converting. That's why the offers, the digital products, whatever it is that you are selling, it is falling flat. Okay? And them, it's time for you to be a thought leader in your own business. Be a thought leader. Okay? In your own business. Be aligned in your own business. Get clear in your own business. Be convicted in your own business. You need the identity in your own business because selling is not sleazy when you're doing it with soul. You know what? It becomes ministry. And when you get that, you become that. The game changes. Your business becomes overflow. Your content becomes a call and an activation. And your sales, oh my God, they're going to become so sacred. Okay? So I'm inviting you, if you have been doing pressure-based, performative-based marketing, it's time to shift. It's time to shift who you have been being. It's trying to shift in your identity. It's trying to shift that energy. And it's time to shift into purpose-led, soul-led marketing. In your authority, in your God-given ideas, and in your God-given talents. And I promise you, when you start to do that, you're going to feel first the internal shift on the inside. And once you get in that embodiment and you feel back connected to your message and who you are called to serve, it is going to overflow into the external in your business. And that's when the leads, the emails, the sales, the opportunities, all of it begins to flow with ease. Okay, so I hope this message landed today for all of my digital girls. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. Girl, don't forget to comment. And I see you guys in the next video.